Everybody that we drafted played between 34 and 48 college football games. So we saw an awful lot of tape on them. We felt good about their passion and how much they love ball, but you don't know till you get a chance to meet them, right? You get them in the building. And Coach Gruden and our coaching staff are so energizing. It's really cool. And that's one of the things I was just talking about with Leatherwood when he signed. He was like, Coach Gruden's energy is just off the charts. And the kids feel it. They feel his energy. They feed off his energy. It was really cool having a huge group of veterans in the building. All of a sudden, it's completely different than last offseason. Last offseason, this building was empty. Now it's vibrant. We got veterans in the building. We got all the rookies in the building. We're working together. The coaches are involved. There's energy and excitement. So I just, JT, I told you before we came on the air that I'm up on the third floor of this beautiful new building. And during the season, my scouts weren't even allowed in here. It kind of felt like that old Stephen King movie, The Shining. I was up here banging around this empty floor by myself going crazy. So that's a long way of saying that we're pretty fired up just to have the guys back in the building. While we all respect the efforts of the guys that have departed, we're pretty darn excited about who's here now. And I think Derek's excited about not just how young they are as far as their energy, but these guys love ball. There's been a big group of the offensive line in here prior to the draft. All our veterans, led by Colton Miller and Andre, they've been in every day. They're building offensive line chemistry, and Derek Carr has been there every step of the way. And let's face it, with John Gruden's offense, with the volume of plays and checks that we have, you've got to be, as an offensive lineman, you have to be smart and you've got to be invested. And I think all those guys are. So we're younger, we're more athletic, but we're just as smart and invested. What we don't have yet is the experience of that last group. And that's what's going to be intriguing. How quickly can we get up to speed with this new group of guys? Well, we sat down with Gus, and you want to talk about a guy that had a plan. We sat down with my entire scouting staff for a couple of days when he first got here. We went through every position. We talked about what the prototype looks like. How big are they? What do they weigh? What's the arm length? What's important to Gus in a free safety versus a strong safety? You go back and you talk about Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor and all those Seattle teams that he was an architect of. So we got a chance to kind of dive in real deep with Gus and all the new staff. Ron Milas has done a great job with the D-backs. Richard Smith with the linebackers. We still have Rod Marinelli and Travis Smith with our D-line. So we were able to spend a lot of time with them, watch a bunch of film with them, kind of get on the same page. Like, what are you looking for here? So, when you sit there and you look at, pick a guy, Trevon Merrick. Merrick's a guy that is the prototype in the Gus Bradley scheme for the post safety. Why? He's got great range, great ball skills. He's the kind of guy who can catch the ball and take it back to Ron Milas on the sideline. We haven't had that, okay? On defense, we have not turned the ball over. We've not been disruptive. We've got to get better up front. We got to get better on the back end. We got to get better on all three levels. But it's been great working with Gus because there's a very defined metric as we look at each individual position. John and I are both big proponents of competition at every position. And I've said that from the day I got here. Competition at every position. So, pick one. Look at the safety position. John Abram is a talented guy. He missed his whole rookie year, and he was highly inconsistent last year. And he knows that. A lot of splash plays, but no consistency. John's working on that, and he's working on it like crazy with Gus and Milo. And I love seeing it. Instead of being up and down, John's like this right now. He is just consistently coming to work every day trying to get better. So if he can play that Cam Chancellor strong safety position, keep in mind, we've got Carl Joseph, who we signed in free agency, another former first-round pick. They're both at strong safety. And then you look at free safety, Merrick is there. And, we didn't go into this thing anticipating drafting two safeties in this draft. But the way the board fell, all of a sudden, Tyree Gillespie's sitting there towards the end of the fourth round. And I looked at John and said, we had a big grade on this kid. We got to go get him. And we moved up and we got him. So what does that do? Why do you draft 2 free safeties? Well, what it does, it creates competition. Okay, Dallin Levitt is sitting there, and Dallin Levitt's saying, hey, I want a shot at that job. Carl Joseph wants a shot at the job. So when I look at that safety position, I'm fired up. There's going to be competition. You look at the defensive line. We're trying to get towards that situation where, we have kind of a wave, not just 3, 4, 5 rushers, but 7 or 8 guys that you can trust. You got to rush the quarterback in this league. We were awful. We have to get better. So we went after a bunch of D linemen in free agency. We already talked about Ngakoue. We talked about Solomon Thomas, Quentin Jefferson. We've got a bunch of different guys we're excited about, and we got to get better there. We got to get better at the front end. We got to get it better at the back end, and our linebackers have to be more consistent. So if there's a consistent theme in all my answers to you, JT, today, and I am being transparent, we weren't very good on defense. And if we expect to be a playoff team, we got to get a lot better.